Good job, King.
Yo. Mega's doing this fine evening. Oh man. Ortorius, thanks to tier 1. 47. Oh, and we got Chie in the middle there. The Mega Beef Bowl Challenge. And entering the meat dimension. P4 Ultimate PC remake number 5. Supposed to come out sometime in the next 5 years. That should be a fun trip down memory lane. Assuming they rolled into a bunch of the golden stuff in there. Hopefully. And, I don't know, man. Persona 6 in 2099. I'll be able to play it in the nursing home. Hell yeah. On the PlayStation 7. They're already giving up on the PS5, supposedly, according to Sony president somebody. PS6 will still have no games. Yeah, but, well, their plan... So, CJ, the PS5 had two problems. One, you couldn't buy one, and two, it had no games. PS6, supposedly you'll be able to buy it. And that's a step in the right direction, you know? Man, how far removed are we from the PlayStation 2 most dominant generation ever? Hi, HeyWoah, here comes the government mandate. Yeah, Ethan, it's the government mandated stream. Please clap. Government mandated enjoying yourself. Gentlemen of Girth. What's on the docket today, Sir Big? Well, it was maybe going to be a Age of Sigmar game, but I couldn't find anybody. I did ask last minute, though, to be fair to them. So I'm going to read up on a bunch of the news that I missed, and then build an ogre list or two. Maybe we'll even, I don't know, we might have to take a shift in the Autismo factory. We'll see. The stream, it'll evolve. It'll be an evolving stream. You missed so many streams, you're sorry? Don't worry about it. I missed some streams too. We're, you know, everyone... What was that fucking guy, CJ? Who wouldn't dress up as Lightning? We both made some mistakes. For the... Okay, so there... Was it the director of Final Fantasy 13? Like, he wanted his wife to dress up like Lightning, and she wouldn't, and they had an argument, and then he's like, we both made some mistakes. Oh, that was classic. First stream in a while, true. Since last week, Monday, even. Last week, Monday's stream was a great stream. I got to play Age of Sigmar, which is what I like to do now. I've changed. I used to not like Age of Sigmar because it sucked, and it got a lot better, and now I like it, and I want to play it more. I just got to find people to play with on stream, for the most part. I don't know, look forward to that. $800 Bloodborne machine? No. Still no Bloodborne. They will only release Bloodborne once the game is no longer even that good, relatively speaking, to current games, which is a few years ago actually, but you know, don't let me tell you how to live. Did you get flashbanged by the Game Freak game? Please explain more, BitCloud. I need to know. Game Freak game? PS3 was more your time, says the only TJ, but the PS2 was goated. We need to bring back AA games, too many AAA atrocities, and small indie titles. I mean, yeah. Yeah. You know what? Potentially controversial. We should bring back good games. Regardless of where they come from. We should, remember how we used to make good games? We should do that again. You know, we can still make good games. They do it still. Even nowadays. Even as bad as things are, there's some great games every year. I just played one, Expedition 33. The game was amazing. It was so good. You know? And I believe a few of the main people that worked on Expedition 33 were laid off from Ubisoft, France. And then they made Expedition 33. So if you could come up with a more brutal indictment of the incompetence of Ubisoft leadership than when they were working at Ubisoft, they made the games that Ubisoft have made in the past 6 years, And then when they got laid off and finally got to do whatever they wanted, they made one of the best RPGs of all time. Hey. The Lion King, okay? The Circle of Life. Layoffs are good. More layoffs. We need more layoffs. That's the answer. Death Stranding 2 real soon? Yeah, next week I think I'm gonna play it. Sorry. I would like to officially apologize to everyone watching right now for the mistake I'm about to make next week by playing James Walkman 2 on stream next week for Hidumpo Colombo and his VTuber girlfriend and all the actor friends he's made, including starring Normal Penis. What's that guy's name? He was in The Walking Dead. He's got a funny name. Norman Remus, I think. Yeah. Norman Reedus, that's it, okay. Yeah. You'll not be able to watch you play Genius Columbo game because you'll also be playing it. Well, bro, that's what a second monitor is for. Anyway, thanks. Good taste. Maybe. Formal Bezos. Why mistake? The game rules. I liked Death Stranding 2 for what it was. A lot of people who didn't like it seemingly didn't like it because they really wished it was something else, if that makes sense. What I wanted was the vibes-based cruising and listening to a Walkman that I got from MGSV, except a SimCity game. It's a SimCity game. Like, you're not making a city. It's not Roller Coaster Tycoon, but it's like, you know, USPS simulator. It's like Delivery Simulator, the game. And it creates a certain emotional vibe throughout it all. And there's stuff happening, but kind of whatever. I don't know. I liked it. The story was fucked up and dumb and great. Much dumber than Metal Gear, but just as entertaining. I was talking about it on Discord with a bunch of people earlier today about how one of the things I find the most charming about Hideo Kojima is that his messaging is unbelievably, almost embarrassingly on the nose. It's like you're watching a high school, you're watching like a first year freshman student film for how on the nose the messaging is, but he thinks it's really like heady, I guess. And it makes it really complicated, or tries to. I don't know, it's adorable. And it cracks me up. Yeah, actual walking simulator affectionate. It's not walking simulator is a subgenre of like Dear Esther type game. So it's not that. It's a sim game. Dear Esther fucking sucked. Anyway. I think they got lit off. Game Freak are making a game that isn't a Pokemon game and it looks kind of okay. I don't have a very high opinion of Game Freak then, in that case, because they made Pokémon. A game that was bad, and then they made, quite literally, I think, more than 100 carbon copies of this bad game with no innovation to it. That was just, it's never been good, ever. And they just kept making it, so I guess I don't care. I'm interested in seeing them do anything else, but that's a lie. I'm not interested. I don't know. I hate to come down so hard on Pokemon, the poor franchise. But it's trash. I wouldn't hate it so much if the art wasn't so bad. Maybe that's my problem with it. Pokemon Go to the polls was the funniest thing to ever come out of the IP. And they didn't even choose for Hillary to say that. Although who would? You loved it. You can like a guy's ladder, and people like your ladders. Let's go. Yeah. Kojima was like, discovered social media, and he's like, all right, I'm going to have social commentary now. You can like a ladder. It's deep if you think about it more than you should, and photocopy meaning into it that he didn't intend at all. Which is the best type of symbolism searching. We used to do a thing in film class when I was in college, and the whole point of the exercise was like, find symbolism that isn't there and make it seem like there is by over explaining it. And it was to show people that, the audience can find whatever they want in something if they try too hard. I think he was doing it to take the piss out of armchair movie critics and stuff. A little bit. A lot of your film teachers have a chip on their shoulder. Maybe that's the real point. HeyWoah stands Team Rocket confirmed. I'm vaguely aware of Team Rocket. They were in the cartoon show, and they're sort of buffoons. I don't know. It's just not any good, man. Games are bad. That being said, I like some bad games. Don't worry about it. You just got to be honest with yourself. Film teachers must hate YouTube essayists. YouTube essayists are just the documentarians of our current time. Documentaries basically don't exist anymore. They're just YouTube essayists, yeah. You choose the narrative you want to push first, and then you assemble from 100 hours of random footage and write something, and then it pushes that narrative, whatever it is. Never forget, documentary is the least honest form of filmmaking. Because it has a veneer, it has an air of honesty and authenticity that it does not earn and betrays immediately. Anyhow, let's see, wavelength thoughts? TED Talks? If it's so bad, why does everyone like it? Checkmate atheists. Well, have you seen what people like? However long you've been alive, have you seen what people like? Can you trust them to have good taste? There's Subway everywhere. Speaking of indictments. I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards. That's a classic quote. Only great games. It was great seeing you having a lot of fun last stream playing HeyWoah. It's about to return to the game with your Cities of Sigmar. What would you say is the single best change in the new GHB? Single best change. I'm tempted to say the priority one, but that's not true. The single best thing is changing battle tactics, because they were the worst thing about the whole game. And they didn't fix them, they're not perfect. But they're much different than before. And any big change to battle tactics for the most part is a good thing, because it's the least fun part about the whole game. Hat tip to being outdropped means you get to reroll priority once a game. So if you want to be low drops, you choose who goes first and set the tempo of the game. Very powerful. And if you get outdropped, then you get to try to steal the initiative one time. I think it's kind of a good system. And something they really should have done in 3rd edition and didn't. YouTube essayists hate themselves by and large, from what I can tell. Well, good. They should. I think we should be more open to feeling shame, especially in the content space. Feeling shame is natural. Sometimes it's even good for you. Anyway, I agree with that assessment. If true. There's a good essay on a geocentric universe documentary about how it uses the Retro documentary to sell a conspiracy theory. Yeah. It's time-honored tradition. People like live-action remakes of animated films. Now that one I can't explain away. I can only assume that Mossad has spies within the Disney Corporation that are trying to kill Disney on purpose, and that's the only reason they would do these live-action remakes of animated classics. There's no other explanation. They're trying to take them down from within. It's prolific, therefore popular fallacy user. Yeah. Would the game still be benefited by Battle Tactics complete removal? Yeah. Even if you replaced it with nothing, the game would be better. At times, it would feel like there should be something else there. It might feel a little too simple, and so you might have to put something back in after taking the ham out of the ham sandwich, right? But even the worst sort of all or nothing compromise of removing BTs entirely would make it a better game. But I would implore them to put something back in instead of them, to mix it up a little bit. Are you going to the 3K tournament in July, Mr. Woah? I don't know. I'm very hermetitious, and I just left the house for most of a week. 2 weeks ago? To go to New York. So I'm on cooldown for like 6 months probably. But I would like to go to the 3K tournament, and Age of Sigmar is fun right now. We'll see if I can bring myself to do it. Or at least look into it. And see if there's still sign-ups, You hear the live actions are fairly cheap for the turnaround they get on them. I mean, it must be, right? They must be making money somehow with it. Kind of an old Blumhouse thing. Oh, we'll make a $12,000 horror movie that's completely terrible, but enough people will see it by accident that we'll make a big profit. That kind of thing. I just figured that Disney should be above that. But I'm not a Disney adult or anything. This is very chill for painting Slaves to Darkness. It's kind of throwing you off. Usually can't see what you're painting because your head is banging so much. Well, I'm not going to try to induce anything over here. Typically speaking, my stream is perhaps low energy. Walking around in Place Kama, Japan, paint your Slaves to Darkness. You don't need to have rock music on at all times. I mean, if that helps, fine, but...
Good job, King.
As a political platform, I say, down with headaches and migraines. Let's reduce the number of those. My opponents across the aisle love them and want to increase the number of headaches and migraines. I, however, disagree. Vote HeyWoah. Did you see How to Train Your Dragon? No. Typically, a Disney movie comes out, I'm generally too old for it. By the nature of the type of movies they make. And so I don't see it. And also, I don't have kids, and so I'm not forced to see the ones that I don't want to. Here, the live action. You have 24 rat ogres lined up for it. Rat ogres got a little bit of a boost. The most recent update. They're kind of killers, those guys. Anyway, Tay Barracuda thinks you're tier 146. Not a Disney adult, he says. We all sing Mulan songs in the shower. Could I name one Mulan song? Hold on. That can't be what it's called. Okay, I get names wrong all the time. In my head, the song is I'll Make a Man Out of You. But that can't be what it's called because of the implications. Certainly that's not it. It's got to be something like that. It is? Then the content of that song has to be very different than what its name evokes. Unless it's a different type of movie than the one I'm thinking of. Anyway, I'm going to bookmark it. When you played your first game earlier this year, you're really surprised. Oh, hold on. I gotta scroll up. You're really surprised how unfun and clunky battle tactics were, that they not exactly side objectives, but having 3-minute downtime where you pick the least painful and somewhat coherent next step for your turn. Yeah, that's one of the problems they solved this edition. You don't do that anymore. At the time. Archie the Hebrew. Yeah, one of the complaints with them among many was that every time a hero phase started, the game just hit a brick wall. The game just stopped. And then someone, whoever's turn it was, shuffled papers to try to figure out anything they could possibly do, and it just wasted a bunch of time. Now you choose them beforehand, before the game starts, which was a good idea. The song starts with "Let's get down to business." Look, I already bookmarked it. You don't need to sell me. It's the gayest song Disney ever wrote. Damn, stiff competition, but hey, alright. It's a training montage going from a raw recruit. You're not helping your case. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. Pretty sure it's a man singing it to a group of other men and a singular woman. The titular Mulan, alright. You might have to cut Lokavi from your next Soulblight list after Data from last week, after Datum. We just want enough points. Or we want to have enough extra points to be able to put anything in or take anything out until it's good, then we can put the pet unit back in. Yeah, she doesn't do enough. And I don't think the zombie dragon does enough either. I think being in combat and living and flying away and landing is too many hoops to jump through. It can work. But I would rather have a unit that can just kill something because it's a big monster that you're paying hundreds of points for in the first place. And then we'll coalesce into whatever the list is and then see if we can fit one of the fun units back in. Ahem. Mulan has the highest kill count of all Disney protagonists. Oh shit. You ever get the 2-week Minecraft phase, or is that just a Zoomer thing? Asked Ethan. I think I played Minecraft for maybe one day. I wanted to see what all the fuss was about, because it was really popular. And I played it for a day, and I understood. I'm like, okay, I see. Because I'm old, right? And so I'm like, oh, I see. This is digital Legos. You know, in 1989, Legos were a big deal, and autistic kids would like playing with them. And so now here's a digital version of that, basically. I mean, there's a bunch of other elements. There's survival and crafting and, you know, mod scene and exploring the world and all this other stuff. But really, it's Legos, except digital for kids. And it's reasonably well made. Looks like a lot of fun. There's a bunch of mods for it. Yeah. If you want me to comment on the Minecraft creator scene, well, I don't make phone calls to state penitentiaries, but the game itself, I get why it was popular. And I kind of felt like, damn, if I was like 7 years old, this would be the shit. I would play this game for like 200 hours or whatever. Why has it never clicked before? Digital Lego? Yeah, I mean, not even so much the building aspect. Obviously, everything's cubes and you connect them and build stuff, but I'm not really necessarily talking about that, just surface level. More like the type of person and the type of brain it targets, and the type of age group, and so on and so forth. There's a lot more to Minecraft than just that, but... I love Legos. Oh. You're just glad the biggest game for kids is a game about being creative and building things. It's a very good point, Arrested at Waffle House. I share the sentiment greatly. Now, Fortnite was probably bigger, I bet. So don't worry, you can doom spiral if you wish, right? But yeah, I'm happy that one of the most popular kids games ever was one that celebrated being creative. You know? That's you know, the kids are all right moment. Low tier god. LTG, man. Yeah. Is he still alive? I assumed that he would have moved on to, I don't know, some sort of like drop shipping scam business or meme coin investor. Oh, he plays Tekken now. Okay. Or he's like one of those where I'm like, he's going to be a born again Christian someday. And be talking on stage with a big watch to a bunch of Republicans and stuff. After the allegations come out. A motivational speaker, you know? Talking about how he got over his anger issues and found Jesus. But also, the work he's doing right now is like low-key kind of a scam still, you know, that kind. Like the devs. I don't know anything about the Minecraft devs. I think Microsoft owns it, but perhaps they bought it. Mostly talking about Minecraft YouTubers of that era that, like Smash players, seemed to be unable to help themselves from being fucking creeps. And just awful people in general. Minecraft was made for me specifically 15 years too late. Brother, it's a little more than 15 years, but I appreciate the positivity. Minecraft was bigger than Fortnite. Okay, I didn't know. That's nice. We're all Dark Side Phil fans. I don't think I am aware of who that is. DSP has outlasted so many. I don't think I'm aware of who this is. Is he a Minecraft YouTuber? Oh, not creators, but YouTube. Yeah, I was talking about YouTubers, not the makers of it. To be fair, that's Smash players, not Melee players. Sure. I don't say sure dismissively. Well, I do, but like, you may be right. I don't know what the difference is between those games very much. I kind of lump them all in. Professional courtesy knocked off another 15. Yeah, there you go. One of the OG Pain Piggy tubers. Oh, okay. I'm not, like, too big into lol cows. I'm going to be honest. I never really was drawn to the lol cow observation deck. Mostly because secondhand cringe is, it's not a feeling I enjoy. And so I'm vaguely aware of some of the big ones, perhaps. Except for this DSP person. But it's not a type of thing I seek out. If it's not a VTuber or AOS related, you don't know them. Plibcraft? Oh, Plibbycraft? Dude, Plibbit feels like she has played Minecraft or could play Minecraft. That could happen. DSP is a fighting game player that rages and gets mad, and people give him money. Okay, yeah. Not exactly my preferred type of content. Sometimes if people become a meme, it can be entertaining to see them rage, but I'm generally embarrassed for the person who can't control their emotions, or rather, play up their emotions on camera like some kind of clown, pretending to rage for dollars. I don't know which one's worse. Probably the person who's... Actually, the person who's faking it is not worse. I just thought about this for 1 second. The person whose rage on camera is an act is actually much better than the person whose rage is not an act. Because if you're that furious over games and stuff for real, then you have a high chance of beating your wife and shit. Having other parts of your life and the people you know be harmed by your lack of control over your own emotions. The person who's faking it is just a phony. That's fine. There's plenty of phonies out there. You got to do what you got to do, you know? I used to have a job roofing in the summer, and I'm white. That shit fucking sucked. You know? Who likes their job? You know, sometimes you got to act like a clown for a job, okay? You know, actors are acting, right? Are those guys even married? Let me tell you a very, very, very depressing fact. I used to moderate for the Facebook Age of Sigmar page. Had 22,000 members. Okay. I was a moderator for it. 22,000 member Age of Sigmar Facebook page way back in the beginning early days. Every unbelievably racist / sexist comment, slur-filled rant, very creepy, digitally overhitting on some young girl's picture next to her model, comment that I had to delete without fail always. I made a note of this. Everyone. Husband, pictured, wife, bunch of kids. Every time. Husband, wife, bunch of kids. You have in your head an idea of the incel male, the person in a basement, overweight, stringy hair, meat sweats, typing away on 4chan or whatever. Nope. Married men that a woman said yes to and just is fine with this sort of way to behave, I guess, with kids. So, I don't know. There's your doomer. There's your doomerism for the day. Why are women okay with that? Not even okay with it. I guess they seek it out. Maybe that's what it takes. Do you see the trick, though? That's how people will trick you. I just tricked you into thinking that it was somehow like a woman's fault. Don't fall for the incel stuff. It's very easy to use language that can drive someone to think something without actually saying it. Any Jordan Petersons in chat? How many kids you have to ban on your average per week? 4 or 5 per day. Either a message deleted or banned. One of the two. You were so hyped for the based HeyWoah woman hating hour. I'm single. I'm a hermit. I go outside once every week, max, if I can help it. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I'm not in a relationship. The last time I dated anyone was probably 10 years ago, maybe. I'm simply uninterested in the tangle of other people's lives. Why would you listen to me about women? I'm like an alien outsider just observing, okay? Society tells you to want to do things and want to like things and how you're supposed to be. And it's your choice whether to take that advice or not. Do what you want to do, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. You have more control over your situation than you might think. Do what you fucking want. What about the birth rates, though? And so? The birth rates. Hey, how many billions on the planet? 8. -1. Phantom. -1 parenthetical phantom. Okay. 7,999,999,999. There you go. Mob birth rates. Gives a fuck. Overpopulation's a problem anyway for our resources. I don't think anyone actually cares about that. Well, maybe they do in a weird way, but I don't see how that enters into anything. The birth rates. You know, I've gotten messages, especially when I was popular, I've gotten some messages that were pretty heartfelt over email. Okay? Long time ago, I got some messages and they were like, your stream really helped me through a tough time. I've gotten emails like that in DMs, mostly back when I was more popular, right? But consider this. Maybe one of them was gonna hang themselves and they decided not to. So, I didn't have any kids, -1 birth rate. I kept somebody else alive who might do that, +1. We're even. Possibly even in the positive. There's different ways you can add to society. Quite the catch, got a countertop full of DeWalt drill batteries. That is true. There's only 2 of them. We have a decade of women hating to catch up on. Oh, sure. He's not an incel if he's celibate by choice. Yeah, vol cell, I guess, right? If that's a thing. Incel is like involuntarily celibate. Like you want to have sex, but you're incompetent and so you can't. Or maybe there's something wrong or you're just unlucky. I don't know. Whatever the fuck you want to blame it on. And that's inherently, it's like an inherently sad label. Because you want something and you can't get it. That's like the entirety of the label. But I'm not trying to do that. Is HeyWoah an ace king? I mean, it's a good hand in poker. Actually, I'd rather have that hand in blackjack, to be honest. Blackjack's my game during Pride Month. Oh, is that a pride thing? King, ace? Oh, it's given me, I just Googled it. It's given me a flag. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is this now? Everybody gets a flag, huh? Okay. What does ace mean? So I'm looking at Wikipedia. Surely it has a dark mode. There we go. Asexuality. Oh, that, okay, so it's like a show. Sounds like what it starts like, I see. Is a lack of sexual attraction to others. No, not at all. No, this isn't me. No. Look, Gooners strong together. Asexuality is distinct from abstention. Abstention. To abstain. And from celibacy. Oh, okay. No, not ace. Don't give me a flag. I don't want a fucking flag. Anyway. No, apologies. Ace means you're not into romance. I watch romance movies all the time. That's not true. But I don't dislike them, I guess. Hey, well, I learned something. This is an educational stream today. There's a new letter and a new flag. Ace is a man of waifus, not Ace. Get a freak check on Mr. HeyWoah. Have you watched my streams? There's a difference between attraction and just being apathetic to it. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll look into it more if I give a shit, too. But in general, probably not. Ace just wants to be left alone. They're the hermits of the sexual spectrum. Gotta respect Mr. HeyWoah. There's aromatic. Oh, aromantic, not aromatic. Okay, it's not the people who smell nice. Aromantic and asexual. They're two different things, okay. I don't know if I would describe myself as either of those things. I'm just perfectly content with what I'm doing, and I don't really like to interact with people very much. Or outside if I can help it. I don't think sex enters into it too much. You've been playing EverQuest, got your cleric to 40. Yo, Zoop, nice. Cleric is kind of a rough leveler, although you can certainly blast with a mercenary. And you have some pretty good direct damage spells, although they're not mana efficient. And I think some anti-undead stuff. You don't believe Mr. HeyWoah can divide via mitosis? Oh, because it's asexual? Yeah. You divide asexually. Good meme. We got to get the science jokes in here a little more often. Appreciate it. Now, sex is on the spectrum. Ugh, get that thing a train set and Minecraft, right? Good meme. Ever thought of doing faction-focused vids for 4th? Yes. But the reason I didn't is because they took out every interesting thing, rules-wise, from every single army. Gone. Wiped out. Like a Thanos snap. And it would be depressing making all those videos talking about the nothing, rules and mechanics-wise, that all the armies had. And thinking about all the cool stuff they used to have that's just gone now. And so I didn't. And that's basically the only reason. It's hard to write propaganda and sell people on something that you're just not feeling. Faction-focused videos would be like rough. It would have to be almost all lore instead of game stuff to compensate, I think. And so I'm like, well, I'll give it a sec. I'll see what the GHB does, see if they start injecting some of that flavor back in. And they have. So good, we're going in the right direction. Eventually, either once we do another few of those GHB things, or the newer battle tomes that are good, maybe. or 5th edition. Maybe I'll come back like Encino Man, thawed out from a glacier. Hey, remember that funny video I made 6 years ago? Well, Age of Sigmar is good again. We'll do some faction focuses. We'll do a big old choose your army, choose your army video, right? It'll be just like the old days. Get 600,000 views again. Hell yeah. Play Age of Sigmar and stream. It was a fully solid GHP. Really good direction for them to be walking in. It gives me hope for the future. Hobby Check, tonight we work on Dawn Riders trim only. It's a lot of trim, but look, it has to be done. It's so striking when you do it right. At least there's something to look at. Faction Focus redesign. Part 1, propaganda. Part 2, GW's propaganda. Player copium, yeah. Squat Rack, the Studborn, lives rent-free in your head. Oh, that was fun. Science fact, dark energy is decaying, which suggests it isn't a constant, but rather something that evolves and changes constantly. I wonder what it'll eventually be. I wonder if I'll be alive when they figure out what it is, really. You've been really out of the AOS sphere for a while. You don't know if my dudes in black armor focus slaves is viable or not. It is. Don't worry, Dr. Dead. Dudes, well, Fridge Frazetta in black armor. Meaning Chosen, some heroes, Be'lakor, Varangard. If that's the kind of thing you were doing, be at ease. It's fucking awesome still. It's great. I bet it's hot aliens. Oh, I hope so. "30 warriors, 10 chosen, 10 knights being focused." That's actually pretty good. You'd have to see how it works with all the other battle tactics and stuff, but it's not like you're screwed. It's all trash, right? I mean, Vanguard are better than knights, and maybe that's more warriors than you want exactly, but I don't even know. Everything's different with this GHB. You gotta build towards a battle tactic card or two, rather, that you choose before the game. There might be a reason to take anvils again. There might be a reason to take chaff again. So that's actually a good starting point. Tali Zora Vas Normandy is out there somewhere. True. For each of you. Government mandated big titty goth alien GF. Just prove that you're a citizen, get your social security number, here's your delivery. Gets beamed down. New season really discourages reinforced murder blobs, which is a good direction. Or at least it feels fresh. Yeah. I don't know if it... Well... It's still very useful to have something that can kill anything, obviously, right? Especially if it has good movement, but you're pretty right in that at least, okay, I've played one game of 4th edition, so I'm by no means an expert. If you want expert opinion of a person who plays the game, look at, like, I don't know, Stuart Gutzman or one of the world's players' socials or something like that. But it seems to me that what 4th edition had become was 2 Death Stars in every army. Like, your army was 2 really fast units that cost 90 points, and 2 unbelievable Death Stars. And that was basically it. You didn't have room for anything else, nor did you really want anything else. Perhaps Hopium, this new edition, it's not really that anymore. If your army is good enough, you can maybe still have that work, but... Tomb King Tristan. Oh, TY for the tier 1, Tabarakuda. Tomb King Tristan has a red heart next to their name. What does that mean? This lovely badge was earned by users who shared their favorite Twitch clips in February 2025. Unattainable badge. He got the badge and was removed from the game after that. It's like a gladiator mount. He can never get it again. Based. Chaff is so back. Chaff might be back if your Chaff's good. Also, A. Lamau, it seems that you have a custom badge as well. r/place 2023 cake. I remember that thing. That thing was fun. Reddit's r/place. That thing was fun to watch because it was watching content creators and entire countries leverage bot farms against each other in a show of global power with no stakes and no repercussions, which was kind of fun to watch. I heard you say 2025 and thought, how does he have a badge from a date that hasn't happened yet? And it'll happen to you. It'll happen to you. PS3? Dude, that was like 10 years ago. Oh, no. No. 20 years ago? Dude, that was the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. Oh, God. You should progress your hobby hermit journey and get into the old world. From there, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump into historicals. I never really was interested in historicals or rank and flank or anything like that. I wouldn't say they're bad, because I don't know enough about them to say they're bad. Although I would, I guess, because I like talking shit, but, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Never really got interested in it. Old world, kind of same thing. Yeah, what do you mean retro? That dropped when I was in high school. Oh no, CJ, you are, unfortunately, you're trying to do the POV I'm old thing, and unfortunately you're failing in a less depressing way than reality, okay? Really the thought is, what do you mean retro? That just came out. That's the comment. That's the twist of the knife. I mean retro, that's the most recent one. It just came out, and then you look and you're like, oh.
Twitch Prime.
Oh no. Hey, have you guys seen that new thing that was 16 years ago? Oh no. Centurion 130 thinks it's a big Prime 12. Appreciate the streak. 360 era is retro now. Oh no. Let me put up my Macintosh computer to look at it. Yeah. Surprised you don't play Infinity since it's got crazy list building and has the 80s, 90s cyberpunk anime aesthetic. I actually don't know anything about Infinity. Bad dice. Hey, Mr. Streamer, what are we doing today? We're chatting and going on a walk in Place Kama, Japan. And then I'm going over a bunch of AOS rules updates that I missed last week. And then maybe Autismo Factory guess the game. I might make a list or two for ogres in TTS and just get it set up for the next AOS game on stream. People now refer sometimes to stuff 10 years ago as retro as well. I mean, that's like not unfair, right? A decade is a long time. There's people online being nostalgic about old Fortnite. Oh, no, no, no. You played a game of 4th this week. It was great. Felt AOS too. Yeah. I have one game of 4th edition. Well, okay, I have one game of this GHB version of 4th edition under my belt. And I liked it, and I want another. If the Vice City game made the time jump made the day, it would be 2006. What was the one, the crippling one was the That 70s Show one, where it's like, if That 70s Show came out today with the same amount of time in the past, it'd be like That 2010 Show or some obnoxiously close to us time frame. It'd be That 2000s Show, yeah, or something like that. It'd like open with both of the Twin Towers being up and see hanging Chads falling to the floor during a Gore v. Bush runoff in Florida. They'd be playing like Who Let the Dogs Out. Oof. It ends with them losing their houses in the housing crash. Enron, they'd lose a bunch of their nest egg during Enron. H.G. Wells, the English novelist, playing an indoor war game. He wrote a war game in 1913. Yeah. I included that particular picture in one of my What is Age of Sigmar videos a million years ago. I found it to be a disarming picture, you know. Remember all these towering intellects in black and white that people have in their heads where they're like, oh, these are Roman statue people, you know? No, they were just fucking nerds. Sorry. They were just nerds. They just lived in a different time. Did an ogre faction rewrite you might like? Bring back Hungry and Eating, giving the monster trucks a 3-up save. Is it time? Is it time to go back into custom stuff? I don't know. I might take a look at it, but not on stream exactly. It's an exercise in futility, but sometimes it's fun to exercise anyway. Not physically, chill, but like, you know, mentally. Salvador Dali dying in the 70s always fucks with you somehow. Yeah, you think stuff in a museum, paintings on the wall, it's all just hundreds of years ago, but no, there was a progression to it. Where's the Helldivers war game? I think, didn't they make one? Wasn't there a Kickstarter for one? I seem to remember the models, but maybe it was just something someone did up as a meme. It's like a board game with minis. Okay. I certainly have no interest in that, but I like the video game. Any Brotan out there? Says Tay Barracuda. Oh, we got the 40k people talking about their 40k armies. Another edition of HeyWoah looks at 40k armies and judges all of them. Recently got yourself a Croak, Carnosaur, some Croxagore for a good price. Eager to put them on the table. You know you don't play lizards. Can you imagine a list that has all three and is still functional? Croak, Carnosaur, and some Croxagore. Yeah, I think so. One of the Carnosaurs is actually a pretty fighty monster now. I have no idea about Croak. And Kroxigor are heavy hitter, kind of meat and potatoes troops. I don't know if they're good. I don't even know their war scrolls. Look at how out of the game I am. Look at how little I know when the shit sucked for 2 years and I stopped paying attention to it for the most part. Because it was kind of uninteresting. I gotta get back up to speed. I used to have an encyclopedic knowledge of this game when everything was fun, but not balanced. We gotta study. We gotta do some studying time. Yeah, Big Wound, Big Dam, they just smash now. I assume that's what Crocs do. That's what their purpose is. You don't expect widespread adoption, you just did it for fun. I mean, that's the point. You have to, yeah. But it is fun across the pond. It's fun to make up custom rules for stuff. It's a fun exercise to do, as long as you realize that no one else cares at all. Because I've made custom rules, and I know that no one gives a fuck about my custom rules. And I'm like a content person, right? And they still don't care. And the reason I know is because when another content person does their own custom rules, I don't care either. But it's an understanding we have. It's fun to do, and it's like useful little practice game design at home kind of thing. It's fun that it's a fun exercise to do. Don't mean anything by it. Taxi 2 stock is only 5 pounds away from their weight goal. He started at the year 270 down to 235. Damn, you must be almost human-shaped by now. Or pretty close to it. Congratulations. Sincerely. Do you know the stats on something like that? 270 isn't quite crazy, okay? But the statistics on being a certain amount of overweight and ever getting back to a normal, healthy human weight is... It's actually like less than 10%, possibly even less than 5%. It's... You're more likely to get hit by 3 cars in a row. And it's not chances, because that's like pure chance. I'm talking about, I guess, people who have the willpower to go through with it and stay there. Built different, standing at the top of a mountain. AOS cram school stream when? Maybe. Didn't Poorhammer get the PvE mode to stick? Big gains. PvE mode? Don't believe the lies of big balance. I would never. No. If you have to trade fun for balance, it's not worth it. Now, a balanced game in a vacuum is better than an unbalanced game. Just willy-nilly, I suppose. But we should sacrifice very, very little fun for balance. Because balance isn't fun. It's boring. And it usually means that you way oversimplify and sort of generify everything. You dropped 50 pounds since year start. It's hella hard. Yeah, not to dissuade you, but actually in some way to sort of motivate you perhaps. Losing the weight in the first place is easy. It's not easy. It's actually very hard. It's fucking annoying. It sucks. You have to decide to just not have any enjoyment in your life whatsoever, right? Basically. But it's a target, and if you're very goal-oriented and target-oriented, you can like shut off your mind and feelings and stuff and just get to that weight. It's staying there that's the problem, because you have to change your life to stay there. Otherwise, you'll gain it all back in record time. You really do have to decide to change your life. Because actually, how else would it work, right? not have any enjoyment? Close enough to my normal life, yeah. You got one of those calorie tracker apps. It helped a lot with meal planning. Nice. You just have to not cheat. And since it's only you, you're not reporting to anybody. It's like fat and ugly, just be ugly. Yeah. Look, 1 is less than 2. You got that going for you. There's a lot of fat, ugly people out there. Look at me. Consider just being ugly. You'll have a leg up on all of us. Horde mode was the name. The sales pitch was COD Zombies, but using Warhammer. Or remember that obscure solo MTG format that 20 people played? I played a lot of obscure MTG formats over the years before someone finally invented EDH and made it popular, but I don't remember Horde mode. Your partner recently lost a ton of weight, so she's inspiring. Hell yeah. Takes a special kind of person to be able to do that. I myself have done it twice in my life, but my problem was I didn't change my life. I just saw a goal and ran towards it and suffered for 6 months, a year, lost 50 pounds, lost 60 pounds, whatever. It's fine. Just get to the finish line. And it wasn't that bad. Well, okay, it really sucked, but I could do it. But the problem is once you get there, now it's not about getting there. It's about changing your life and staying there. And that was my problem. Make the goal a waifu that you'll always be chasing. The unicorn. "50 weeks a year cutting calories so that Christmas and Adepticon can be gluttonous." There's 52 weeks in a year. You get 2 cheat weeks. And one of them is Adepticon, where every meal is 3,000 calories. The way you would sell Horde mode, at least with 40k fan rules, is you're playing against an infinitely spawning army powered by a basic flowchart, and you can team up with friends to survive. Interesting. You lost a bunch of weight when you were wrestling, but your morale got super crushed and you couldn't maintain that weight. Yeah. You have to maintain either a change in life or mental, or both. It's hard to stay there without becoming a different person. But maybe that's sometimes what's good for you. I can only help with getting right up to the line and then stopping. I can't tell you how to cross it. Although, I don't know, I did it twice. I suppose I could try to do it again. Just think, would my waifu be into me if they saw me? God, no. They would shoot me with a stun gun. Call the police. And I would be on the ground already. The police would come up and just start kicking me. Then you clear the bar over your head. Oh, okay, so that was supposed to be motivational. Sure, yeah. The mental discipline is the main thing, like maintaining the gym, yeah. Changing your routine. I'll know based on your lifestyle for so many years, you're shocked you're so svelte. It's because you're young yet, you're a child. You guys, your bodies are made out of rubber, they just do whatever. Also, especially because you're a man. It's a lot easier for men. Their body just reacts to that, and it's like, oh, we're doing this now? Sure, okay. It's much harder for women. On average, I mean, there's always that unlucky bastard on one side or another, right? But honestly, you had to cut a toxic friend to make any progress. Their eating disorder feeding into yours. It is what it is. It sounds like two birds, one stone. Sometimes you can be someone's friend. Every once in a while, maybe you are called upon to be their counselor. But you can't be their psychiatrist every week, every month, every year, 5 years, 10 years. Just can't. You can't do it. Unless you're a psychiatrist, I guess. Even then, it's kind of weird if it's a friend. Probably not okay. You're trying to lose weight again, at the very least? Great. That's a good thing. Maybe I'll take that Factor 75 sponsorship and get healthy meals for a month and then have promo code HeyWoah fat and then have everybody get like 20% off, and we'll do a completely scamming this company with a sponsorship just to get free shit. Pledge drive. I might do it. AI robots are about to replace my job. I gotta get as much of a bag as I can over here. Start pretending to like 40K. The Talking Horse Show told me that it's easy to do it on a given day. The trick is doing it every day. I don't know anything about it. Mr. Ed? Anyway, it's partially right. That's decent advice. Harder for women, hell yeah, brother. Yeah, okay. Good meme. Men are willing to fight for it more? I don't know. I was talking more physiologically. Like they have a physiological advantage. About like where and how fat is stored and processed in the body and different biological things like that. It's just, on average, it's easier for men to gain and lose weight. Hey weight. So instead of HeyWoah, it's hey weight lifter bod. Can be goals. I could still have big as a catchphrase because there's different ways of being big, right? Fucking huge. Whoa. Show up to Adepticon looking like a fucking freak. Marcus Rule. I can't even tie my shoes. That'd be hilarious. Hulk whoa. Hey swole. I mean, that kind of stuff takes years and years, right? But still, funny meme. Eat big, lift big. Hell yeah, brother. Mr. Ed, holy, what do you mean? It's the Talking Horse Show. What's another Talking Horse Show besides Mr. Ed? I could Google it, I guess. Wear a chainmail coif. I know the exact person you're talking about. If HeyWoah does 40K, I'm donating $100 because he'd be in the shit, yeah. You would, remember years ago, I'm like, hey, if you ever see me doing 40K on the regular, you'll know the financial situation is in dire straits behind the scenes. BoJack Horseman. I've probably heard of that. I've heard that term. Oh, I've seen this cartoon picture. I mean, I've seen a picture of this horse. Okay. It's one of those Comedy Central shows. Alright. Well, okay, whatever that horse show is then, sure. Papa Pump the Freak Daddy. We can't let HeyWoah do 40k. You wouldn't give a friend heroin, would you? No, I would not. Scott Steiner teaches math is the greatest promo cut of all time. I'll have to look it up later. Look, don't worry about keeping me from buying 40k stuff. I wouldn't. Remember, I would be in dire straits if I started. I'll do like all the other content creators about 40k do. Just read from a Wikipedia without ever buying it or playing the game. Ever. Or painting a single model. Just talking about it. I don't know. Maybe, is that dead? Because that was a thing when I started, but maybe it's trended down. The whole 40k content creator who doesn't play, doesn't buy anything, doesn't paint anything, just reads from Wikipedia. Maybe that was just a fad when I was on the up and coming 7 years ago or so. Now all I ever see is like Bricky and stuff, so. But maybe that's my algorithm. Because he does so many collabs with my fucking waifus. DNeil 5500, thanks for the big prime for 10. Needing a walk in the rain virtually. Please enjoy. Oh, pink umbrella. Nice. That's the spirit. Complain about the hobby tourists while mispronouncing all the army names. Yeah. Be a tourist. Complain about the tourists. Current scandal is getting worse. We need to talk about the situation. As soon as I see the big men talk about L-shaped ruins, I know Skynet takeover is imminent. Well, luckily I don't know what that means. I mean, I can visualize it. It's ruins in an L shape. I assume it's some sort of terrain, but... If there's no scandal, just invent one. Yeah, easy. For 40k bound stuff, you're directly competing with Auspex. It's a losing battle, okay. Bitching about tourists is the most tourist shit. It's the default GW terrain. The solution is to just not use it. Okay. Use AI tools to train it on your voice and make scripts and use HeyWoah to make videos about 40k lore or something. I probably have enough recorded content. You know? Like how many videos do I have? I don't know, if you include my live broadcasts, I bet I have hundreds. Maybe there's enough to train. HeyWoah. Please don't ever pivot to AI, you would cry. It is my belief that people like my YouTube videos because I write them. Like on purpose, you know, me, and then I present them. I think that's my gimmick. My gimmick is that I write my things. And when I'm on Warhammer Weekly, I write a little one-page speech to talk about. And AI writing is so bad and obvious. Chat, is this real? Grok, is that true? How long before 40k players come to AOS and complain the terrain doesn't match exact dimensions of the terrain on TTS? We got some amount of influx of 40k players right around leading up to 3rd edition. Tail end to 2nd into 3rd. I don't know how much cross-pollination there is nowadays, though. My gimmick as a content creator is that I create content. HeyWoah 2025. Yeah, and that's like... not even a meme sometimes, depending on, I guess, who you're comparing it to. But also, we could use a little self-deprecation here and say my gimmick as a content creator is that I don't upload YouTube videos even though I should. So, you know, let's not let our heads get too big over here. You primarily play 40k and occasionally dabble in AOS, specifically because it's similar but different, yeah. No big deal. SJ can do that for you. Well, I mean, like, not to downplay what SJ does, but like real YouTube videos, as in I write a script for the whole thing, I record the whole thing, I edit the whole, you know, like a YouTube, not like an archive, not like a clip, but like a YouTube video. SJ's been dutifully pumping out VODs and stuff when I do things that are warranted, right? But I wouldn't ask him to do real work, you know. He's got a job. Man manages a warehouse. He's got 16 daughters or something. He's got enough on his plate. I'm not trying to take advantage. Yeah, and his dog almost blew up. It didn't blow up, but he wanted it. Like, it almost blew up. It half blew up, and it had the audacity not to die. What does VOD stand for? Video on demand. Which is maybe an old guy way of saying archived live thing. His dog is a bomb? No. How do you almost blow up? It had some intestine thing. Was it intestine? Was it... what's the thing that sometimes blows up in people? Not gallbladder. The other thing that doesn't do anything, but it actually does do something now that we figured it out. Appendix. Yeah. CJ, what was it? SJ's dog almost blew up, or its appendix blew up or something. Penis. Good try. No, but good try. It ate a toy and it got lodged in its intestine. Yeah, and then its intestines almost blew up. And he fucking hated the stupid ass thing. Awful dog, just ripped everything up all the time. Incurred like a $5,000 surgery. And he was like, this fucking thing just costs me more money now. It didn't even have the decency to die from almost blowing up. Yeah, and it can't blow up now that he paid for the surgery. Because you're supposed to... It might blow up eventually. Well, now it'd be even worse because he already paid for the surgery. Now he's even more foot in the grave, you know? Appendix, yours killed you for 4 seconds on the operating table, but to quote a goat meme, you lived, bitch. True. Well, you didn't die, it's just your heart stopped. We can survive those. As you no doubt are evidence of. My blood pressure will eventually get so high, I'll turn into an IED. My diet is pure salt and licorice. I will become a bomb. Anyway, I'm going to hit you guys with a commercial. We've been talking for an hour and a half. When I come back, will we talk AOS rules? Maybe. I don't know if somebody has another topic. I'm just here to talk. I don't have a great big plan for content today. I don't have an AOS game to play. Although, hey, should I open it up to just average viewers that have a... like, okay, we're going to have to screen them somehow, just a little bit. Like, you got to have a good microphone. I don't want to hear You're talking through your webcam mic. Sounds like your computer is inside of a diner. There's a fucking fire alarm beeping for lack of battery behind you. There has to be some amount of filter. But it can't just be mods all the time. I think it'd be cool to play a game as a viewer on stream. And I don't think I'm popular enough to have, like, complete trolls that would just, you know, join the stream and then just scream the N-word for a while until they get banned or something. I don't think that would happen, so. I don't know, maybe it'd be nice. Maybe for Friday, or next stream rather, if it's before Friday, maybe I'll put something out in the TTS channel and see who's interested. I just want to play a bunch of games. I don't give a fuck if I win those games. In fact, I'd rather lose them, because then I get to learn something at least. I just want to play a bunch of games in a bunch of different battle plans, against a bunch of different armies. And they're all kind of teaching games a little bit. Don't apply if you need a complete teaching game, like you've never played a game before or anything like that. But it is kind of supposed to be a little bit of a teaching game because we're doing it live in front of an audience. So it's kind of like, hey, an introduction to this GHB. So there will be like going through learning stuff. It's not like you have to be a Worlds player or an expert. I mean, clearly. But your desktop PC's in the shop, but when you get it fixed, you should have decent audio setup. You'd love to try out TTS eventually. Yeah, it's free, right? Mr. Woe, I'm honored you would invite me into the stream and scream the N-word. Look, we're not on Kick, okay? I'll let you know when we are. Every game you lost told you to get new dice. It hasn't helped. That might be a problem then, because I'm Garbo and also play Sylvaneth. I mean, you don't have to be stellar. Like, you don't have to be an expert at the game exactly. You haven't played AOS in 3 years? Perfect. Same with everyone else. Got him. Oh no, that one hit. That one hit actually a little too hard. Let's grab Henya. Oh no. Well, I mean, we would learn a whole lot about what in Japan, how they roll dice and some other stuff. She'd be like, is this a dice? And then she would get 50 gift subs. True, Henya. Might put a tier list. You died about dumplings. More people should play Path to Glory. Path to Glory was fine. I think it's important for the game. I just don't want to play Path to Glory. If Path to Glory was the game, then I would play it. Which is probably frustrating to hear as a Path to Glory enjoyer, but it's the truth. You'd make more money on Kick, though. I would, yeah. They let you keep a lot more of your income. Twitch steals a bunch of it. Twitch's payouts are very bad for you, comparison to Kick. But the problem with Kick is the reputation of everyone on Kick. And it'd be a third fucking thing that I have to sign up to and figure out how to multi-stream to. And I'd be looking at 3 different chats. Jesus Christ, you know. Anyway, we'll see. Roll on it, Dio. They have a cute you get paid for each person watching you on Kick thing per minute. Yeah, and also you keep like 95% of your subs too. It seems like they really care about paying their small people and even their medium people. Unlike Twitch. But What are you going to do? Yeah, AOS on TTS, they...
69, nice.
AOS on TTS's shit is super good. They updated it almost immediately. They got all the terrain in the exact right places. I've been very pleased with the TTS integration of AOS. It's actually amazing. I kind of want to... A few times I kind of wanted to find out who was it that did it so that I can steer people to whatever that person's Patreon is or something like that if I end up doing some more videos about it. Like, just by the way, this is the company or this is the people who... Well, it wouldn't be a company. Anyway, here's the person who does TTS for AOS and they do a great job. And they kept the game alive during COVID and all this. Here's their Patreon, you know. I'd like to... Maybe I'll look into that one of these days and figure out who's trying to do it. Anyway, Arterius, thanks for the 69. Tier list contento. Is Kick the one you can gamble on? Yes. Yeah, they are bankrolled by gambling website Stake. Yeah, seems good for Slaves to Darkness mains, Cruel Boys mains, etc. Yeah. And I don't particularly like gambling. Well, that's a lie. I love fucking gambling. But I don't like online gambling because it's not as fun as in person. And I don't like advertising gambling to kids. But advertising gambling to adults is fine. You can do what you want with your fucking life. You know? But yeah, some people have a moral problem with Kick being bankrolled by illegitimate, well, foreign casinos. But I'm going to be real with you. It's no worse than Amazon and Jeff Bezos. In a scum Olympics, they're reasonably tied. There's no difference. I don't care, you know. You've personally been in the Bezos sweatshop? You worked for Amazon? I have not. But if I was low, if I was younger, I probably would have ended up working there at some point. Your Amazon therapist told you should quit. True story. Well, I hope you're in a better place now. It sounds by the weight loss journeys that you are. What's the... One of the truest memes, do you know that one where it's like, I am devastated to tell you that better diet and regular exercise does indeed make you feel better. I am devastated to tell you that it's true. That thing. Say what you want about foreign casinos, but they probably don't make employees pee in a bottle. Well, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, but I had a zinger in the holster. I think it was literally just a better job that made you happy first. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to hit you guys with a commercial. Get up, stretch your legs a little bit, get a drink. I'll be right back. I think somebody had a cool question earlier about actual Age of Sigmar, which ostensibly the stream is about. Maybe I'll scroll up and try to answer it. BRB, I'm going to hit you with the brand new commercial. Look, we're not going to do the brand new commercial all the time because people get sick of it then. But it's been a week. Hit you with the brand new commercial.
Hey, Jimmy Lee. Beautiful morning, huh?
Yeah, morning ain't my time, Bert.
Oh, Daddy, give me a glass of energy for my pal here.
Energy, well, that's just...
Cream. The Macho Man Randy Savage.
What Nintendo don't.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, give me a
Cream.
with nut.
Nothing.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Where's the cream? Cream.
I soaked in it. Matt!
minute.
This is
The cream.
this is your brain on
Cream.
any questions?
Time to make the
Cream.
Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the
Cream, yeah.
Remember, only you can.
Cream. Nobody does it better.
Nobody does it better. Hertz leads the others by far. Nobody does it best before you.
Damn, that's a good one. However, let's do a rain walk, shall we? The juice. Head off to work. See ya. An anachronistic vampiress. It's a fun name to say. Madge. I soaked in it. You're glad the guy who killed OJ's wife is finally dead, yeah. That was the best, like, fake Norm Macdonald update ever. Now, finally OJ can rest easy, knowing his wife's killer is finally gone. Hey, alright. Speaking of OJ, I'm devastated to tell you that the Naked Gun reboot is real. Damn, that's gonna not be good. But they're targeting me. They are targeting my demographic. The, airplane, Naked Gun kind of era of movies that were funny, but it was just a bunch of puns and shit, right? Spaceballs is another one. Produced by Seth MacFarlane. Yep, it's over. That says it all. Seth MacFarlane wants to create really cool things, but then it's he who makes them. What a curse. The Midas curse. Reverse Midas. The golden slapstick era was so good. CJ, I was thinking about something for Commander Nights. We did a Commander Night with the Flats. And then among mods every once in a while. What about... You guys are adept enough at creating Commander decks, here and there, last minute sometimes. What about a stipulation commander? One of the old favorites. I used to do it with my old team, the Grinders, when we played Commander. Bracket whatever, playstyle whatever, but the win con. The stipulation is your win con has to be as annoying as you can possibly come up with. Like, try to find the most annoying way to technically win. It doesn't necessarily mean play, like playing the whole time, but just how you win itself. And sometimes it's interesting to see what people come up with. Commander, I hardly knew her. True. It's a hearty challenge. It's also fun because it gives you license to... Everybody agrees. It's like Judge Tower, shared misery. Anyway, something to percolate over. Oh, Judge Tower. The real magic is the friends we lost along the way. O2 drop. Found a new card for your judge tower today. Ambiguity. Do I remember this card? Big. It has the word big in it. Ambiguity MTG. Oh, it's a silver border. That's why I don't know it. Typically, I will know almost any card that anyone mentions, but yeah, it's silver border, so I wouldn't know it. Although, it is a silver border card, which means it was designed on purpose to be zero fun, maximum annoyance to play against and with. I don't know why anyone likes these sets, but Ambiguity 4. Whenever a player plays a spell that counters a spell that has been played for a player, or that has been played, or a player plays a spell that comes into play with counters, aka enters the battlefield, player may counter the next spell played or put an additional counter on a permanent that has already been played but not countered. That's funny, but yeah, the problem with Magic is that their rules text writing is actually very litigious. And so that player may counter the next spell. That's a command. That's not a game effect. You should more correctly write it the next time an opponent plays a spell. Counter it, right? You may counter it or something like that. You have to set it up as trigger effect. Anyway, good meme. Magic text writing is more accurate than, say, GW text? Well, yeah. I mean, they've gotten a lot better. They've done a lot of codification of GW rules in 4th. Some questionable nomenclature and convention about how things work. I think the distinction between whether it's you using ability or the unit using the ability is kind of weird. In a lot of cases, unintuitive. But I don't know, they're generally improving GW. Anyway, it's time. Speaking of rules, perfect. Oh, totally off topic. What kind of wizard did you pick? Well, hey, alright. Let me bring it up here. I think I'm doing Staff Wizard, I think. Staff Wizard gives you an extra cantrip for free. And then later on you can kind of essentially get an extra spell. And it's kind of flavorful. If we were high level, I would use... There's one that allows you to give up lower level spells for higher level ones. I would maybe do that. Even though it's probably not great. If you wanted to do that, then you should just play a sorcerer. But one of those two. Red Mage, best wizard, true. And I went for Slab Soul Minotaur. Because it was the most unwizardly race for Wished Alive background. But I was kind of annoyed to find that you could just build whatever. The game doesn't really punish you. Like you can... I still have a +4... I still have a +4 int. You know, with a Minotaur. The same as if I were an elf or something else, right? Or a gnome. So it's not actually that neat and special to be like a Minotaur wizard. You don't give anything up for that. You're not paying any cost. It's just, you know, it's like using transmog in WoW, you know. You could just be wearing whatever suit of race that you want, and it doesn't really, you know, affect the hard stats. But hey, alright, I'll take a +4 instead of a +2, I suppose. Anyway, Slab Soul Minotaur has this stupid-ass ability once per day, you like punch the ground or something, and then these giant walls of stone appear around you, and then they fall. The walls, brick walls fall in every direction, compass rose, and flatten or push people away from you. And it's thematic but dumb. And it would be way better to choose some other race, but I'm like, yo, Slab Soul Minotaur, this is funny. It feels like a wizardly thing to do, actually. You could spin it in that way. Use some battle magic. Yeah, that's the... oh yeah, battle magic is one we could choose too. I can't remember what it does, though. It just affects which bonus spells you get. Bonds and schools, yeah. So it's battle magic for bonds and staff for schools, I think. Or maybe it's the other way around. If you get surrounded or somebody gets close, get slabbed. It'd be funny. Other way? Yeah, okay, so it's the other way then. And I got some reincarnation feats because my background is I was wished alive, but I was reincarnated as a random race, which happened to be Minotaur, and so you get like... Some of the reincarnation feats are kind of neat. They're very minor, but they're sort of flavorful. One of them just gives you skills, one of them just gives you something else. The one I chose, I think, was... If you fail a skill check, you can re-roll it once per day. Because you've done this before in a past life or something like that. And the whole point is that I used to be this goofy-ass archmage guy who hung out with the necromancer guy. But I got reincarnated as a young Minotaur, and then had to grow up, and now I just have to become an archmage again so we can hang. I think his name... The Minotaur version of him, his name is Xantolus. But it's just like a tiny part of his old, like, super over-the-top arc wizard, you know, kind of name. The same as my EverQuest character. High Dracomancer, Volcanomath, Blazantilus, the Double Elminster. He was kind of a big deal. Z or Axantilus? Z because that's how it was in the last name. X would be cooler though. Well, not cooler, but more fitting, maybe. Anyway, I can't wait till Plibit runs a Rifts game. Can you imagine Plibit doing a stream where she makes a Rifts character? We would see the ultimate crash out depression eating stream. That would be premium. We'd have to do the reveal, like the number of books you can look through. Like opening the Sphere Grid in Path of Exile. Oh no. Anyway, speaking of rules, let's look over some rules in Age of Sigmar now that I'm done walking for 2 hours. I missed these last week. They came out with the full everything. We had the preview stuff before. We knew about it. And the cliff notes, but I want to see, we got rules updates. We got the tournament organizer pack, and I was kind of interested in how they were going to handle a thing or two there. And so let's see what's brand new. Looking for new, updated, or deleted. Here we go. Oh, it's Spearhead. Don't care. So just no updates now. Here we go. Here we go. Here's one. Ahem. It would be the same "oh no" that Tommy gives in Goodfellas right before he gets whacked. Territories. If a rule requires that a unit be outside of friendly territory, or wholly outside of friendly territory, would a unit that is not on the battlefield count? No. Next question. That reminds me of the FAQ question that some ogre guy gave. And I was embarrassed for us, my people. It cared about even numbers or odd numbers of models in a unit. And he asked if my ogre unit has been wiped out, so there's 0 models. Is that even? And I'm like, well, yes, but also no. 0 is indeed an even number, but the unit is dead, so it's not, nothing's going to affect it. Good try. Good try. That one at least was better than the does 5 equal 10 one, because at least the math is correct. 0 is even. Like, that's true. So he's one up on the corn guy at least. Spearhead, don't care. General's Handbook 2526, rules updates. Seasonal rules, add the following rule. Regimented forces. If a player has more regiments than their opponent at the start of the battle, then once per battle, that player can re-roll their priority roll after seeing the result of both players' rolls, but before determining priority for that battle round. One of the coolest new rules. This is an elegant rule for GW. What a great change. This is huge. What a good change for the game here. This means that you're not punished, or rather, you have an option. You can decide to go for low drops, you can decide to go for high drops, and you get something for it. That's great. Something like this is how it should have always been. And they tried to in second and third, but mostly failed at. Anyway, great change. I had a reroll in my back pocket the one game that I played because I got outdropped. I never used it, but I could have. And it felt good to have it just in my back pocket. Following rules updates correct errors in order to clarify ambiguities, much like that magic card. In the keywords bar for the unbind ability, change the prayer keyword to the unbind keyword. Okay. Change the timing of covering fire to enemy shooting phase. Yeah, okay. This was purely a typo. Everybody knew it. Covering fire said, I believe your shooting phase, and that was obviously a typo. So here they have rectified it. Army composition. Units in a regiment of renown cannot use but can be picked as the targets of, if otherwise eligible, any faction rules from the faction they are allied into, including enhancements and lores unless they have a keyword that matches the faction's name. So they can't use them, but they can be picked as the target of. Oh, okay. So kind of like an ally buff, then. At various stages throughout the whole game and its various editions, allies either got everything, got nothing, got some stuff, it became keyword based, so here we are with, they can't use it, but they can fully benefit from it as long as otherwise they could. Sure. No real opinions on that. Can I complete the same battle tactic multiple times in a battle? No. Unless specified otherwise. It literally says this So I don't know why it was a frequently asked question, but okay. Obviously you cannot. Good try, I guess. Oop, new. Kairos Feyweaver changed his weapons to the following. Bolts of Changer, Weird Flam, 18-9-4-3-1-1, Staff of Tomorrow, and Beaks. That doesn't read right, does it? Staff of Tomorrow and Beaks. It feels like Beaks should be in front of Tomorrow for some reason. Anyway. 9 attacks, 4s and 3s, 1d3. Maybe it was asked because of Fate Weaver. Well, Fate Weaver says otherwise. That's the point of his ability, is that you can do one even if you've already done it. So his specifically says, if I recall, I mean, let's look at it. But I think it points out that you can. And so I would consider that to be a stating otherwise. But let's check the tapes. Now, this is a scroll written for before now, affecting something that got printed after it came out, right? So, you know, there's always some funny business there. You can pick one battle tactic that you have already attempted. You can pick 2 battle tactics that you have not, yet attempted, but you can only complete one of them. The other does not count as having been attempted. If you do not complete either battle tactic, you can pick which does not count as having been attempted. Tactical Gambit ability. Oh, maybe is there no longer the Tactical Gambit ability? Masters of Destiny. This might go deeper than originally thought. I guess it depends on if there is such a thing anymore. Because yeah, read the past. You can pick one battle tactic that you already attempted. Doesn't say completed. You don't attempt them anymore. So maybe it's just old, you know, that was written for the old GHB and it just doesn't use the same nomenclature anymore. Maybe that's the problem. Let's revisit. Can I complete the same battle tactic multiple times in a battle? No, unless stated otherwise. Kairos says attempted. It doesn't say complete. But it also says tactical gambit ability. Did they solve this? Oh, Oracle of Eternity. Well, there you go. I should have kept reading. I thought this stuff wasn't part of the new, but I should have just kept reading. Once per battle army, start of your turn, pick one battle tactics card that is on your roster and discard it. Oh, can we reanimate a different one? Then for the rest of the battle, replace it with a battle tactics card that is not on your roster. If the new battle tactics card requires either player to pick something, they must do so immediately. Sure. The combined total of victory points earned by both the discarded battle tactics card and the new one is 15. Any additional victory points beyond 15 that are earned by completing the tactics on both of those battle tactics cards are lost. Okay. So you could, this is still good, right? This is still great. Because you start with one that has the easiest first one to do ever. And maybe 2 hard ones after that. So you do the easy one, and then you discard it, and take a new one where the first 2 are easy. And it's sort of like building your own all 3 are easy battle tactics card, maybe. It's a little more involved than, like, capture a terrain twice, right? And you can still only max score 15. It's not like you can score 25 or something. You just build your own 3 easy ones. And maybe you bring all of them and you can depending on what your opponent is, you can choose one that's easy versus that player, or, I mean, that army or something. Cool. This is a neat way of doing it. It's interesting. I don't know if anyone actually plays with Kairos or will, because, you know, it's a lot of points to pay for getting 3 easy ones instead of 2 normal easy ones, but still, interesting take on it, and I think I like it. That's fun. This is one of the first Tzeentch abilities that really feels like you're being as clever as they're supposed to be, you know? Reaching outside the game and, oh, I'm discarding this entire card and choosing a new one. I have to make the choice, big brain, you know, instead of just like, here's some free 6s you get to auto win at. Aren't you smart, you know? Anyway, cool. I think it's cool. I don't know any Tzeentch players in chat. Maybe you can say whether this guy is used or will be used. Maybe it's just like nobody was going to play him anyway, so it's just flavor, but I think it's neat. That's a neat way to solve that problem. Good work. All right, new Karaudran Overlord stuff. Change effect to. So this is Arcanaut Frigate. This unit can move a distance up to the value of the charge roll and must end the move within ½ inch of a visible enemy unit. If it does so, oh, this is a rewrite of the you're charging and the guys that you're following along get to charge. Okay, so we're rewriting it to work better. This frigate can move a distance up to the value of the charge roll and must end the move within ½ inch of a visible enemy unit that's just charging. If it does so, remove the targets from the battlefield and set them up, targets not meaning the thing you're charging, but the dudes that are supposed to be coming along with you. Remove the targets from the battlefield, set them up again, wholly within this unit's combat range. The targets can be set up in combat and have strike first for the rest of the turn. This unit and the targets have charged, and the targets cannot use another core ability this phase, i.e. a charge. The only concern is you have to end it ½ inch of a visible enemy unit, and the targets have to be wholly within the boat's combat range. I'm just thinking about how you place it on the table. Can you get all of them within 3 after the pile-in for that? Actually, yeah, you probably can, because your unit sizes for fighty guys is only 6. And they're on tiny bases. Yeah, you could totally do that. You couldn't do it if it was like a blob of 10 or 20 or something, but 6 guys, I think you can pull that. How do you fit a unit within 3? They're on 40s. I believe they're on 32s even. I think it would be fine. 6 guys max if they're reinforced. Wholly within 3 of the boat's combat range and still in combat. I think you could do it and then pile in. Anyway, just thinking out loud on that one. You know, I could resurrect Manzak miniatures. I could resurrect the what are people working on in the hobby channel thing. That could be a neat one too. I will say, you know, you don't feel like I'm streaming for no reason but the obligation to do so. It's just I was going to play an AOS game today, and I left it to the last minute even though I shouldn't have. But in future, many more such cases of AOS being played. I think I'm going to open it up to the disc too. To me, it's going to be refreshing. Imagine playing Age of Sigmar on an Age of Sigmar stream. It's going to be nice, I think. Anyway, faction packs, FAQs, Blood Ace of Corn. If I use the S Laughter Triumphant to set up a replacement Bloodthirster, and the unit I am replacing had 1 or more enhancements, does the replacing unit retain those enhancements? The answer to this question has always been no. forever. It's always been no. To any question like this, it's always no. It's a new unit. It says new unit. What is the answer now? Still no. Thanks for asking. Good try. I look forward to next time when their book comes out officially and someone asks this same question again so that we can say no. You don't have to imagine you were there. Sylvaneth. When placing scenery pieces while setting up an awakened wildwood, can the ends of each base overlap? No. The tips must touch without the overlapping parts of the base of a different scenery. Yeah, obviously not. Obviously not. And then we got other digital downloads errata. I don't think we'll get anything here, right? Oh, I'm wrong. Battletome Orc War Clans. Actually, I'm going to do this a little quicker. Battletome Orc War Clans. It's Spearhead Ironjaw's Big Mob. Dude, that's a big mob. Change to declare stuff for mega bosses. Get stuck in lads to pick a friendly unit wholly within 12 of this unit to be the target. Okay, Spearhead. Hey, alright. More Orc War Clan stuff. Battletome Skaven. Slavs to Dankness. Archaon the Everchosen. Oh yeah. In a Spell Eater effect of Three-Headed Titan, replace on a 2-up, it is banished and inflict D3. With on a 2-up, it is banished and removed from play. In addition, inflict D3. I guess saying banished doesn't bring with it the implication of removing it from play explicitly. Perhaps. So, okay, fair enough. Just a little clerical stuff here. Esblight G-Lords, Dromcast. I guess I could be looking here as well. Hey, alright. Okay, nothing too huge. Not a terrifically large amount of rules updates, but... And some of them are silly. But there was a decent errata update or two. And then Tournament Organizer Pack. Maximum points limits, army rosters, planning your event. Often called a one-dayer. Any one-dayers in chat? 3-day tournament, grand tournaments, or other large events with 80+ players. I've been to a lot of 100+ player events that are 2 days, but hey, all right. Oh, this is interesting. Suggested game speed milestones and time breakdown. Let's itemize a list. For clarity, this provides each player with, on average, the following time breakdown for the typical game. Pre-game activities, review army lists, select secondaries, 5 minutes. Deploying their models, 10 minutes. Playing their first turn, 20, second turn, 20, third turn, 15, 10, 10. And then we also recommend letting the players know that if they are concerned about finishing their game, like if they're playing Tomohiro Saito in 2013, they should not hesitate to call a judge and watch for slow play. Anyway, I think this right here is they're undershooting it. But then again, they did improve the layouts of the table. A lot of times you had to make the stupid Tetris stuff and put down a bunch of dice to make staircases to figure out the deployment areas, and that took forever. I think they reduced the number of those, though. Deployment is often faster than this, so these two probably flip, but that's fine. Anyway, interesting. Battle plans. Pairing players. By record, and then by win path. What's win path? And third is random, of the same ranking. A player's win path refers not to the number of wins and losses, but to the timing of those wins and losses. What do they mean by this? Oh, probably if you lose round 1, you have a lower seed than if you lose round 3 because you're playing against harder people at that point. That's probably what they mean. Well, pairing by win path has an incidental tendency to pair people by strength of schedule. They say this like it's a bad thing. That's how it should be done. Its greatest impact is on the overall enjoyment experience by all players. It tends to pair players based upon shared experience. My lived experience is losing. My lived experience is losing to skilled players. And so I just want to be matched up against someone who shares my lived experience of losing to superior players. Good work. Yeah, 2 3-1 players, one lost their first game. They likely lowered their expectations for winning the whole event after this, but are probably in a great mood after 3 consecutive victories. The other player won their first 3 and then played against the killers and got eaten. And so among the 3-1 players, they probably shouldn't play each other. Now, strength of schedule and opponent win-loss record does this exact thing. It just does it through mathematics instead. But hey, fair enough. No, you're right. Correct. What do they mean by 4th and 5th turn? Great question, Thief the Thief. This 10 minutes here and this 10 minutes here is how much time they allot you to talk out the last 2 turns as if they would have happened. Okay, and sometimes that takes a little while. So they're going to give you 10 minutes to talk about what would happen in the 4th turn if it were to be played, which it won't. And the same thing for the 5th turn, just for clarification's sake. Oh, look at that. Opponent game winning percentage, based. We finally adopted it. We had the fight. We had the fight for clear heads and reason and logic to win out. When I first started playing AOS, they were tie-breaking by kill points. It came to me in a dream points. Just total nonsense. How many battle tactics you scored as if how hard you defeated your last opponent mattered in any way. We're finally on opponent game win percent. We had to claw up to normalcy here, but we did it. Number of players tables, venue, terrain. We recommend that you use the terrain layouts presented in the battle plans. Also, apologies, tournament organizers. We just asked you to use easily double the amount of terrain that we did before. You're going to have to find 7 billion pieces of terrain and borrow it, steal it, build it, do whatever. Yeah, good fucking luck. It's going to be a better play experience if you have that for all the players, but eat shit TOs, unfortunately. Food/bar if you're in the Midwest. Tickets, judges. Judge, my opponent's using marked cards. Spare player. Sometimes real life gets in the way of Warhammer. Oh, the zinger. Wait, not the zinger. The ringer, yeah. You have a spare player just hanging around in case someone has to drop because their dog almost exploded. And then there's an odd number of people. And especially in a Warhammer tournament that isn't actually that serious. In a Magic tournament, you play for money. So you can't do this funny business, fucking around with whatever, because money's on the line. And, you know, you get a buy then. If there's an odd number of players, you simply get a buy. But in a Warhammer tournament, it's all for fun and no one gives a fuck, nor should they. Nor should money ever be on the line. So you could just have a spare player hang out. Be like, oh, there's an odd number of people? You play Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy. Give him an opponent with nothing. Nothing? Because they drove all the way over here to play some goddamn Warhammer. They didn't come here to get a buy. You don't even get to play then. You know, that sucks. You want people to play the game that they drove to the venue for, right? So, anyway, I think this is correct. What to do with overruns? Tell them about Craterhoof? I mean, who's cast overruns since 8th edition? Despite Teo's best efforts, games will sometimes overrun the time allotted for a round. You'll need to decide how you will deal with these situations. Yeah, I mean, this is the TO pack. How are you supposed to deal with someone who goes to time? What's the official word on that? If the game is almost to an end, you could let the players continue playing the game to its natural conclusion, provided that to do so would not impact the start of the next round. There's not enough time to allow the battle to finish. We recommend encouraging the players to talk it through, baby. Just talk. The most likely outcome of the remaining battle rounds facilitated by a judge. Oh, okay, so now we're facilitating that with a judge. These instances should be a rarity. A rarity. Pardon me. Hey, alright. This is how the game is. Anyway, fucking good meme. Great joke. As the best situation is to ensure there's sufficient time and milestones clearly communicated. Okay, got it. I was about to make fun of this because it's like, you will need to decide how to deal with them. And I'm like, well, tell me how to. You're the TO pack. But apparently it is talk it through with a judge present. That is the official recommendation. That's one of the main things I was looking at. I was wondering, I mean, I downloaded this PDF for tournament organizers. I wanted to see what the official word is. And the official word is talk it out, but have a judge nearby so that one player isn't getting taken advantage of. A smooth talker, you know? Well, I would obviously score this, this, and this, and, you know, just write down W on my sheet. You know, you don't want that. Dropped players, example event, and then they're showing a truly hideous, awful looking sculpt there. They could have chosen a good model instead, but it's fine. Pairings will be random in the first round. Yeah, they should be, right? It's unfortunate because it means in the first round you can get the most lopsided games ever, but it's not like they're going to come up with a DCI and track players' ELO or something like that so that reasonably we first round even have pairings relative to ELO. I don't think you can do that. I don't believe they have the infrastructure to track stuff like that. Maybe they do, actually, now that Matt Rose has been creating a giant database, a datum base. But I don't think it's like terrifically important. Surely to competitive players it would be, but anyway, yeah, first round's random. You'll crush someone or get blown up. Every once in a while you'll have a fairly even game. And then the subsequent rounds, you start playing against more and more leaning towards you deserve each other kind of opponents. Like if you're 4-0 playing against the 4-0 guy, you probably deserve each other. If you're 0-4 playing against 0-4 guy, you'll probably have a fun game, you know, that kind of thing. The system works. Each round will last for blank. If a player concedes a game, their opponent wins a major victory and they receive a major loss. Their opponent scores maximum victory points for each remaining round and they score no further victory points. Does that include battle tactics? That's my question on player concession here, because this does come up a lot. Fuck it, I lose, right? You don't want to... So here's why I think this can be a problem. Is if a player conceding robs you of potential battle tactics points, it means that you can weaponize concession. You can concede to someone early to screw their tiebreakers on purpose or by accident, but it could be on purpose too. And that's no good. I guess giving them the max points for everything is kind of the way around it, but then, like, who knows if they would have scored max points or if it was even possible. It could have been impossible to score those last 3 on your battle tactic card, and so you try to get the opponent to concede to you with social engineering maybe, or what happens during the game. I don't know. It's kind of an open question. It's a tricky situation. I mean, it's also why tiebreakers being battle tactic based are a terrible idea, and it should just be win, loss, draw with nothing else. But, or major, or like major or lesser, normal or whatever. Anyway, it's interesting to think about. I think the worst outcome is conceding robs your opponent. So giving him max at least isn't the worst outcome, right? Then again, you should probably talk it through anyway. Like how the TO pack has a picture of a burning chariot, so you know if you see players with these, you will know you need to spend extra time and attention on them, yeah. At Worlds, people know who's who and can make matchups. No one cares at Steve's Game Shop, yeah. Look at Tata's Steel, a major chess tournament. On resignation scoring, it literally changed FIDE rules in 2022. Oh. Imagine GW trying to create a tournament app, dear God. It wouldn't be, I hesitate to say this, it wouldn't be that complicated, right? Like the mathematics it's doing behind the scenes, Excel spreadsheets can handle that. It wouldn't be crazy. I know you said GW, those are the magic words. But, I mean, Matt Rose has done a lot of that, except just on the back end. He has wrote the programs that collect all sorts of data and look through it. Various apps and various tournaments and stuff, and so he's doing that for them at least. And it was the first time anyone had ever tried to do anything like that in GW. Like I always said, Matt Rose good. I just wish there was a big flavor guy too. Maybe wears a Hawaiian shirt, has crazy ideas. It basically ended teaming and sponsored pairs. Dude in 2 with Team 3 resigned at 5 moon, moves in legal limit at the time, to take a -1 and lock the scoring to hold both in the yeah. You don't want that to be possible. It's amazing it took until the year 2022 for them to make that change, but hey, all right. Interesting. All right, chat. I'm going to make some ogre lists, and I'm going to try to set up a game. We'll do a test run with a known quantity, or maybe not. I'm going to post in Discord about it. And maybe we'll start, I don't know, do you think like a ton of people want to do this? Probably not, right? It's a little stressful to play a game in front of a bunch of people. Oh, what if I screw up? They won't like the pitch of my voice, you know? I got to replace all my smoke detector batteries, you know? I don't know enough about the game. I haven't played enough games yet. I bet it won't be like that many people that want to, but I'm going to send out the feelers in any case, and we'll handle it however we're going to handle it. But I'd like to do, the goal is 2 Age of Sigmar games a week. However, Hideo John Walkman 2 is coming out next week, so maybe not next week. But definitely this week. We'll see. We'll see who's interested. Oh, and tomorrow I'm on somebody else's show again. I'll deposit the link in Discord as well. Except I'm on somebody's show to talk about Magic the Gathering and not even Age of Sigmar. Talking about commander brackets. It's either a live show or a podcast that's pre-recorded. One of those two. I'll let you know on Discord, but it's tomorrow at like 9:30. So, hey, all right. Anyway, thanks for watching. The schedule for this week is Tuesday, that other show, and then I want to do a Thursday and a Friday back to back. I want to get an AOS back to back game. I'm going to post in Discord about it. Let me know if you're interested. Maybe I'll do tryouts. Not tryouts like the cringe way. I just want to get you on Discord and listen to your mic one time. No offense. You know? Anyway. TY for watching. I release you. You are released. I'll see you either Tuesday. We need TTS to play. Yes. Yeah, we're playing on TTS. Tabletop Simulator. But in the TTS channel, there's all the things. There's a list of how to do all of them and everything. So, yeah, it will be on Tabletop Simulator. But anyway, I'll post in the thing. You're all free now. I release you. See you maybe tomorrow. And if it's a podcast, I won't. But if it's live, I will. And then Thursday and Friday AOS game is the plan. Can we do 1980s play-by-mail Rifts game? Damn. No. But you know what? I talked to some people. And the last person I need to talk to is Vince. About resurrecting with the defibrillators. The Rifts game. You know. Quarterly maybe. You know, it's not going to be every other week. We're all too busy for that. And by everybody else, I mean me. And Vince, really. But I'd like to have it every once in a long while, do a big long session, you know. Anyway, for the people who liked that. Things to look forward to. TY for watching. See you Thursday for an Age of Sigmar game. Maybe Wednesday if Warhammer Weekly is one of those early shows. I just feel like playing the game that I like. Anyway, get out of here. Thanks for watching. Get out of here.